I'm going to get into connection between Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. Give me one moment while I turn my TV down. I didn't realize how loud it was. I'm going to turn it down for you guys. Sorry. Yeah. I'm going to do the connection between these three signs and why. And like I said, as I know I asked in the Scorpio video, do you guys want me to do the connection between these three signs? We have all 12 signs within it, so don't think that I'm just catering to just Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio, okay? We have all 12 signs within it, so this can be applied to you, me, and everybody else, okay? Now, the connection between Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio is very important. There's another important connection with Aries and Cancer, but we're not going to get into that. The reason why sometimes I put so much emphasis on Scorpio and Virgo's energy because at one point in time in astrology they were once one constellation. Now the problem between Virgo and Scorpio was they were too powerful and too volatile together. So they were separated and Libra was to create balance between these two. I'm just pulling some tarot so that I can show you guys how it even applies even down to tarot, the importance of Virgo, Scorpio, and Libra. Now, Virgo and Scorpio once one constellation. And if you ever dealt with a Virgo or Scorpio, you would notice that they do a lot of the same shit. Excuse me. A lot of the same shit, but they do it differently. Yes, I'm going to get into Libra after, but I'm getting into Virgo and Scorpio first because they were once one. Libra was created after because they split. Now, I just took some notes down so that it makes this live go easier because you guys know me. I can jump from one thing to the next. So, Virgo and Scorpio to me were once one. They're the epitome of yin and yang to me, but I'm not going to get into that. They're poles in morality. Virgo being of purity. And I'm not saying Virgo the sign as in the sun sign, Virgo the archetype. The Virgo being of the morality, the virgin, the pure, and Scorpio being darkness and impurity. Virginity, sexuality, regular stuff. Now, both of these signs can spot through the bullshit, but the difference between these two signs is the way that they do it. Like I told you, there's gonna be a lot of similarity. Thank you. There's gonna be a lot of similarities, but they're gonna be different in how they carry it out. Virgo spots the bullshit because they rule the earthly plane. They are one of the signs that are most in tune with reality and earthly matters. Now, Scorpio are one of the signs that are most in tune with emotion, the underworld, intuition, mysticism, things like that. No. I'm gonna freestyle this shit because every time I look at this stuff, it throws me off. You know me, I freestyle everything. I took notes down. Cool. Not even gonna do that. I tried. I took notes down to be more organized, but that's not me. It's actually throwing me off and it feels a little unnatural. So, they were once one. If you ever met a Virgo and a Scorpio, you would notice that every Scorpio has an important Virgo in their lives, and every Virgo has an important Scorpio in their lives. Like I said, when these two get together, it's kind of like it's hard to tear these people apart. But now, Libra was created to separate these two, to balance. And it's the reason why Libra, it takes a lot of energy for Libra to balance out the poles between these two. It takes a lot of energy to balance out the polarity between these two. This is the reason why Libra sun signs are debilitated in astrology. I wrote something down about that. Let me just reference that real quick. Libra spends great amount of energy trying to balance these two, and it's problematic to their psyche. And then I also wrote Libra is debilitated in sun sign. And Libra is actually a combination, what I like to say, a combination between Virgo and Scorpio. That's why if you ever met a Libra, they always tend to be indecisive because they're indecisive about being immoral and moral, pure and unpure, or impure, whatever. Because Libra is constantly trying to gain balance. What people need to understand about Libra, Libra is not a balanced sign, it's always trying to gain balance. And they're always trying to gain balance between the polarity of Virgo and Scorpio, pureness and impurity, darkness, light, immoral, moral. That's why it's debilitated. Debilitated as a sun sign because of what it does to the psyche, trying to balance out Virgo and Scorpio's energy. But anyway, if you ever met a Virgo, they have a bullshit radar built in just like Scorpio, but the difference is it's more of a mercurial way. They look at every little single detail. People's movements, people's actions, physical things, earthly things to now spot through the bullshit. Now Scorpio does it, it's a gut wrenching feeling. They feel it. They don't have to do it in a meticulous way that Virgo does it, but they do the same thing. Now, sorry, I just ate before I got in after burp. So, what else am I going to mention? When it comes to Virgo and Scorpio, they I'm gonna keep saying they were once one constellation at one point. And if you ever look at their symbols, they both have the M, but the glyph at the end for Virgo is pointed inward, and for Scorpio is pointed outward. And I'm gonna tell you what, Scorpio exudes their energy outwardly, and Virgo exudes their energy inwardly, and that's the reason why they are represented in tarot as the Hermit and the Death card. Where when Scorpio wants to exude change and transformation, they do it to their environment, they do it externally, they do it more aggressively, to where it affects the people around them, their environment. But Virgo does it, she does it internally. She exudes that energy internally. Where it's more of an introspection, that's where the Hermit comes from. Where the people around her is unfazed by her transformation because it's done inwardly and in silence. Where Scorpio is done externally, or and it's like they'll fuck up their environment, the people around them, whatever they need to change or transform. Now, obviously, you can always see Libra as the Justice card being the balance in between the two. Always trying to balance those scales. Anyway. Now let's get into the other side that I actually told someone on the phone one day. When it comes to Virgo and Scorpio's energy, especially when they get together, or just even how they are with you in real life. If you ever met a Virgo or Scorpio or Libra, they tend to, I don't want to say they tend to uproar your life, but when these people come into your lives, it tends to be an uproar. Even with planetary transits, whenever planets are in Virgo, planets are in Libra, planets are in Scorpio, a lot seems to go down, if you ever notice. Especially if you have those prominent places within your birth chart, within yourself. And if you ever met a Libra, and I'm going to keep saying this, it's a reason why they're very indecisive, very unsure, is because they're balancing out the Virgorian and the Scorpion energy within themselves. Because they're a combination of the two. Libra was birthed from Virgo and Scorpio. Making sense? Now, an importance that a Virgo plays and a Scorpio plays within each other's lives as well as other people's lives. When a Virgo gets in a Scorpio's life, they're both two signs of crisis. So crisis comes when these two get together. Well, not get together, but within each other's lives, or just anybody's lives. When Virgo comes, they bring about external crisis. When it comes to your environment, your stability, things on the earthly plane. Now, when Scorpio comes about, he brings about, or she brings about, internal crisis within you. Now, the difference is, when they want change within themselves, Scorpio changes their environment, which in turn will, how do I say? Let me backtrack. Whenever you meet a Scorpio, you now play the role of the Virgo, regardless of what sign you are. Whenever you meet a Scorpio, you now play the role of the Virgo. Because they're changing their environment. And Virgos also used to their environments being changed, it's comfortable for them. So when Scorpio changes your environment, like completely wreck and destroy your environment, it does something to you guys internally. And vice versa. Whenever you meet a Virgo, you're now playing the role of the Scorpio. All this introspection. And think about Virgo, they do introspection on themselves as well as other people. Because they do this introspection to change themselves as well as to change or help other people to grow or better oneself. But think about a Scorpio, their emotions are very fixed. You know what it's like trying to change someone's emotions who are fixed emotions? It's a hot ass mess. Anyway, this is actually why I don't like to do these type of things structured, because I lose. Let's put these cards away for now. But you guys are understanding what I'm saying, right? That's why I feel like for me, the only person that is meant to handle a Scorpio is a Virgo, and the only person that's meant to handle a Scorpio is a Virgo. And the only person that's meant to handle a Libra is either a Scorpio or Virgo, or I'm trying to think of another sign that's like a like, I would say not Aries. I would say for Libra, I would say not Leo. Leo's too fixed. I would have to say Aries. I'm sorry, I had to say Aries. Even though that's an opposing sign, I don't know why I feel Libra just goes good with Aries. But anyway. Or Gemini. But anyway. You guys need to understand the importance of Virgo and Scorpio, and why, even if it's within your birth chart, if somebody has these places in their birth chart, there's this constant back and forth between being moral and immoral. Introspection, fucking up your environment. Constantly having to change within oneself or one's environment. It depends. If it depends on this person's moon. Because the moon acts differently than the sun. And, so it depends. If this person has a Scorpio moon, then I guess you guys will be great. But it also depends on your sun sign as well. That person's sun sign. Like, that's gonna vary. I'm just talking about the simple Virgo, Scorpio, Libra, whatever. There's other factors that play into this, okay? Because I know for me, every Scorpio does not fit for me. Ooh, that could be a problem. And it depends. Like I said, it depends on Scorpio. Because for me, I'm a Virgo sun with a Cancer moon and a Sagittarius rising. Not every Scorpio sun is gonna suit me. It all depends on their moon or their rising. I'm just saying in general, these signs just go well together, whether it's their sun, moon, or rising. Other factors are gonna play into this, but don't read too much into this right now when it comes to your placements. I'm just saying, look at the importance of it and what it does to you. When a Scorpio comes into your life, you now play the role of the Virgo. And it's the reason why Libra is now the sign of harmony and partnerships, because when these two signs come together, they're the perfect match for harmony. Now, it can either go really that good or really bad when it comes to this pairing. But they work well together as a team in a partnership. But anyway, what was I saying? When you meet a Scorpio, you now play the role of the Virgo. You have to literally do so much introspection within yourself. Because now, honestly, like I said, Scorpio and Virgos are mirrors. So in order to understand the Scorpio, you have to understand yourself. You now have to play the role of the Virgo. And that's why I have plenty of clients who deal with Scorpios, and I have to break things down for them. Like, yo, I'm a Virgo who deals with. I've constantly dealt with Scorpios, and I didn't try to justify the things that they do, but I had to understand. I couldn't be mad at a lot of stuff they do because us as Virgos, we do it too. We just don't do it in the same manner as they do, but we do the same things. And that's why for me, when people go around trying to bash Scorpios, I have to look at you guys like I can't even sit here and be mad at the shit they do because we do it too. Virgos do it too. We just don't do it as the way they do it, but we do it too. All the mind games, the test, the secret test. Virgo does that shit too. I can't even be mad at Scorpio for doing it. We do too. Because they love hard as shit. Not saying any signs don't love, but they love hard as shit. They have fixed emotions, so they don't want to have fixed emotions with someone who's shitty. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get laugh. I get laugh line. Sorry. But anyway. But Libra, once Libra established that there are a balance of these two energies and not trying to waver both sides of immorality and moral, they will begin to understand the both of them, Virgo and Scorpio, and understand themselves that they are a separate being from just this partnership. By working together with these two energies within them, instead of trying to be one-sided without feeling wrong, Libra will now begin to understand themselves that you are two halves of a whole. That you, the thing about Libra is that this is so obnoxious because my mom's ringing the bell like she ain't got no sense, and they both have keys. I don't understand this shit. Sorry, let me go answer the door real quick. I apologize. So, back to what I was saying about Libra. Until Libra understands that they are both two sides of a whole, two halves of a whole, two, you know what I mean. And I think with Libra that we have the issue with is that Libra wants to choose one side of the polarity and force their partner to be the other half. It's like Libra needs to understand that they're two halves. They're both the immoral and the moral. And that you can't choose a side that's immoral and have someone who's moral. You can't choose a side of moral and have a partner who's immoral. You need to understand you're the balance between the two, not the person that you date is the other half of that. The other half of you. You're two halves within a whole. Now, let's get back to Virgo and Scorpio. The reason why these two are best fit, not because I date Scorpios, it's because it fits. Not saying that Scorpios can't be with other signs. I'm saying that's not what I'm saying. It fits. Because Virgo goes at the slower pace that Scorpio needs to trust, to open up without feeling forced, without feeling like they have to put their stinger. And Virgo's strong enough to handle that shit without feeling offended. Because Virgo's the healer. As as much as Scorpio puts out their stinger, Virgo can quickly heal themselves and heal them as well. Now, I'm not saying Scorpio Virgos can't be with other signs. I'm just saying that's the best fit in my personal opinion. And I feel like Libra needs to understand that there are a balance between these two. So a Libra should never date a Virgo or a Scorpio. I mean, you could, but whenever you date one or the other, it's always going to feel like you're leaning towards one side. But anyway. Libra goes good. You know what? I think Libra should go good with Sag. No, wait. I think with Libra, they have to deal with Sag. Because I feel like Libra will understand, Sag will understand that there's a balance between these two. And Sag is a very spiritual sign. They will understand the hierarchy, or they'll understand the true purpose of their two halves, their two polarities, without feeling like it's too much. And I think because there's always a flippy floppy between the two halves, it'll keep Sag interested. So. And it's so funny because I have a Sag rising, so, but anyway. But how I looked at Virgo and Scorpio. I always looked at Scorpio as the deep sea. And even though Virgo are representative of the flowers, the trees, all the beautiful things in nature, when it comes to Scorpio, Virgos can also be reefs and coral and all those things that live at the bottom of the sea. Mm-hmm. And all the what? Yeah, honestly, let's not get to that. But let's not get into the Greek mythology of Pluto's and Persephone. Cause that, yeah, I'm getting tingles talking about it. That's like the greatest love story beyond Virgo and Scorpio. She literally went down into the underworld to be like, he's actually snatched her up and brought her into the underworld, and they fell in love. And the thing that you need to understand about that Pluto and Persephone is that Persephone was so fragile. That Scorpio had to learn to be fragile with her, which in actuality softened the Scorpion. And vice versa. Persephone had to learn to toughen up to not get killed by Pluto's because he can easily bruise her. He can easily, fucking ruin her. But anyway. But like I said, Scorpios are not just limited to Virgos. They can date any sign they want. I'm just saying they're best fit for a Virgo. The only person that can put up with their shit and see right through them. Because they do the same shit they do. So I see right through you. And I'm saying as a person who dates nothing but the universe sends me nothing but Scorpios. So I have no choice but to date them. You know. But do you guys have any questions for me? I'm trying to see what time it is because I have a client at 7 and I want to make sure I have enough time. I know this sounds all over the place, but I try to just write down things and to reference, but I'm like, I already know these off the top of my brain, and it's kind of like every time I try to go by this, it makes me sound all like it makes me sound so dry, and that's just totally not me. Okay, Libra should thank Virgo and Scorpio because without them, they wouldn't. It would not birth this sign. Being and that's what harmony is about, being the perfect balance between immoral and moral, yin and yang. And I always looked at Virgo as yin and Scorpio as yang. The perfect balance. Libra. Or constantly trying to gain balance, let me put it like that. And that's why you find yourself, if you ever met a Libra, sometimes they have these real Virgo tendencies and these real Scorpion tendencies. It's kind of like you don't know what you're going to get on what day. And depending on this Libra's natal chart placement, it can either imbalance the immoral, the moral side of them. And I feel like Scorpio, Virgo is the only person that Scorpio has enough patience for. They don't have patience for anybody else. Trust me when I say this, because I deal with so many Scorpios. I've watched this shit where they'll yell at somebody for doing something that I did, but they wouldn't yell at me like that. No, never. And I probably did it worse than they did, but they would never yell at me because they have enough patience for my ass. Only because they trust Virgo. It's almost like they see themselves inside of us, but it's a side that they don't want other people to see. You know. That's why when these two get together, it's hard to break these two apart. So. But yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. And let's not, and because I know people are like, what about Aries? What about Cancer? What about. We have all 12 signs within us. The reason why I mentioned Virgo, Scorpio, and Libra is because one, Libra came from Scorpio and Virgo, and it's a reason why Libra is the sign of harmony. The perfect balance between immoral and moral, impurity and purity, light and dark. But the only problem that it affects the psyche. And that's why the Libra is debilitated, and the Sun is debilitated in Libra. It affects the psyche. So I'm just gonna say this really quickly. I know some people are gonna get pissed off. But if you ever met a Virgo woman or man or Scorpio woman and man and they have some type of interaction with each other, and say if you're like a new person, don't try to get in between that. That's all I'm gonna say, and not because of my own thing. Don't try to get. And all I'm saying is don't try to get. I've watched people. The Scorpio and Taurus, like they can learn a lot from each other, but it's too much. It's too much. Taurus is too fixed of an earth sign. Scorpio is too fixed of a water sign to create some level of what's that? What I'm looking for? Compromise, leeway. You know, and because Taurus is their polar, their opposite sign. It's like Virgo dating a Pisces. It's it can work if they wanted to, but it's a struggle. Unless this Scorpio has dated a Virgo before, um, whether it's their sun, moon, or rising, it's gonna be difficult on the Taurus because Scorpio hasn't gone through their transformation yet, and I feel like Virgo's the only person that can do that. Not saying it can't work, but if the Scorpio has not met a Virgo yet or experienced true love with a Virgo before, it's not gonna work. Yeah, in Vedic, I'm actually a Scorpio rising, but but in Western astrology, I'm a Sagittarius rising. Um, yeah, because in Vedic, it's 60 degrees behind. I would be a Scorpio rising, and that is a hot ass mess. So, um, yeah. And I already have my 12th house placements in Rugged Square. It's a hot ass mess. Anyway, I feel like a Virgo or Scorpio would never be good with another sign until they've encountered each other first. Yeah, Virgo doesn't get along that well with Taurus. They can for a little while, but Taurus is just too Taurus is just too like, I want it this way, this way, this way, this way, or the highway. You know, so yeah. But they would never be ready for any other sign until they date each other first. They're the only two signs that really spark deep growth in each other. Scorpio sparks the Virgo's emotions that she's never or he's never explored before. And to be honest, Virgo softens the Scorpio, even though he's already soft, but she softens him. Like she gets him to put his finger down. She or he gets them to put their stinger down because they can go toe to toe to each other. That's why they put their stinger down after a while. Because the same stuff they do, we can do it too. Like, oh, you want to play this game? Ignoring, oh, you want to play this game? We can play too. So what's up? But it's not in a spiteful way. It's more so like, I don't have time for this, so. And because Virgo's used to their own space, it's not like they're playing tit for tat. They want to ignore you. Fine. I mean, I needed the space anyway. But people think when Scorpio ignores them or when Virgo ignores them, they take it so personal. Well, Virgo, she doesn't take it personal because it's like we need our space anyway. So it works out for me, I guess. It actually wouldn't create issues because we like space, they like space. We actually hate people who are very, very clingy. Because like I said, Virgo does a lot of introspection. Scorpio has a lot of, emotions going through them all day. They need some, but they both need time to recharge. Virgo, Virgo needs time to mentally recharge. Scorpio needs time to emotionally recharge. It works. Now, a Scorpio and Virgo connection can go really good or really bad. It could be like bliss, like two lovebirds or two doves, or like they fighting like cats and dogs. It can go one or two ways. If they're in a very low vibrational state, it can go really left. Like where they're fighting like cats and dogs and they can't stand each other. So, but even if they're fighting like cats and dogs, they still won't let each other go. Unfortunately, trust me, I know Scorpios that I fight with like I fought with like cats and fucking dogs, yo, and and they'll still, hey, what's up, like regular shit. But anyway, but I just want to dip into Virgo and Scorpio really quickly because honestly, in Libra, and I only mention Libra because they were birthed from these two signs. So if you guys want to, and Libra is representing the second house, the seventh house of marriages and partnerships. If you really want to know how to have a very balanced partnership, look at Libra. Mean like not just be with a Libra person, but to understand what it's like to balance out those two energies is not easy. It's not easy. It's not perfect, but for somehow it works. That our relationship isn't all perfect and it isn't all bad. It's a perfect balance between the two. Things that are too perfect are fake, and things that are too imperfect is shitty. So, but I'm trying to see how much time I have because I have a client in a little bit. Yeah, I have a client in another like 10, 15 minutes. So, If you guys have any questions, get them out now. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you guys can also email me. I ain't no friend. I look good right now. I ain't gonna. Let me not start getting into that beige talk. Sorry, but and I don't want people to think that I'm so Scorpio biased on my channel because I date a lot of Scorpios, but I just feel like they're one of the most understood signs besides Virgo, and I just be like, they're not as bad as people make them out to be. They're not as sinister. They're not as, selfish or distant and cold as people make them out to be. Because people chop up Virgo with the same category as Scorpio. You know how many people that I had talk shit about Virgo, like, oh, if you want to get a cheater, date a Virgo. If you want a liar, date a Virgo. If you want a cheater, date a Scorpio. If you want a liar, date a. It's like. Yes, we have. And I feel like all signs lie and cheat. So I don't feel like, you know. Because to be honest, I just feel like people perceive Virgo and Scorpio how they feel like they should perceive them and not for what they really are. People just get the wrong ideas and run with it. The thing about Virgo and Scorpio is that when they start dating people, people get the wrong idea or and run with it. Like they fall in love and then get mad at them when they're not really into it like that, or they're not paying them any mind, or they're not sweating them like gym stocks. Okay, you know. And I feel like the Scorpios that I meet never really can't leave me alone because I understand that they need space. I understand. Again, as I started to learn myself, I understood one and the same. I just don't. Is it the fact that one issue that can happen with this pairing is that one person wants it their way, and the other person, it's like they're getting the same stuff that they do done to them, and they don't like it. Because I didn't realize this plenty of times I've dated Scorpios, and I didn't realize they used to piss me off because they used to do the same shit that I used to do to other people. And I'm like, but anyway. The thing about a Scorpio and a Virgo, if they have not said out their mouths what you are to them, don't assume anything other than that. Because they don't go around trusting any Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's so funny that I'm getting hot because this nigga text me. I've, yeah, sorry. I wonder if I have any incriminating evidence on my Scorpio. I shouldn't be saying this shit. I shouldn't be saying this shit. Sorry. I don't think I have anything that's gonna get me in trouble on my channel. I haven't mentioned too much of. I haven't mentioned anything that we go through, so I think I should be okay. But anyway, I'm getting hot. Sorry. But I just want to touch bases on you guys to understand the importance. I may have to remake this video because I feel like it's all over the place. The reason why this pairing works is because they are much alike. They're only two people that could fully understand each other without feeling weird. They can love each other to the capacity of what they deem what love is, and without feeling like it's gonna go to waste. And the reason why these two signs do alive this test and watch from a distance is because they love hard as shit. Not all that puppy, yo, like I will lay my life on the line for you and die for you type of shit. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna lay my shit out for some Tom, Dick, and Harry who I'm gonna lay my life out on the line so he can run off and go be with the next bitch. Not this gal. not this one. I just feel like people just misunderstand Scorpios. Not saying that they're like easygoing and perfect. That's not what I'm saying. They just love hard as shit. They're sensitive as fuck. They won't tell you that shit, but they are. But yeah, do you guys have any quick questions for me before I, you know? Sorry. Do you have any guys have any quick questions for me? I don't know. For some reason, I can't use like I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. But if you guys have any questions for me, you guys can ask me that really quickly. I'm sorry. Okay. Understand that immoral side of you. To be honest, and understand that emotional side of you. Because you're like I said, Libra is a combination between Virgo and Scorpio. Because like I said, I told you, whenever you deal with a Scorpio or Virgo, you take on the other role. So if you're dealing with a Scorpio, you're taking on the role as a Virgo, not the role of Scorpio. And honestly, and one downside to the Virgorian energy is that they're gonna try to mentally understand this Scorpio or try to figure out their actions. Stop trying to figure out their actions and just feel. Virgo's lesson when it comes to Scorpio is to learn how to feel and not to overthink, not to think Scorpio out, but to feel Scorpio out. Like I said, because you're now dealing with a Scorpio male, you're now trying to take on the role of the Virgo, and the downside to Virgo's role is they're going to try to think Scorpio out instead of feeling them out. Because honestly, their actions, the things that they show you in the physicality, may look extremely deceiving, may look like they out to deceive you. Not saying that all of them are perfect, that's not what I'm saying. It's not as bad as you think. Now, what you need to do as a Libra, because Libra sometimes can be very, very codependent. You're gonna have to learn your own independence because we don't want you to become codependent on the Scorpio because they don't like people to depend on them. It's too much of a big role for somebody to lean on them too much or to need them. And the same thing goes with Virgo. Virgo, I say they like to be needed, but they don't want anybody to lean on them for too long. Because whenever it's time for them to tend to themselves, the person that's codependent on them is too much pressure. So as a Libra dealing with a Scorpio, I can't tell you what to specifically do based on your sun signs. I will have to really look at your situation with a personal reading. So if you like a personal reading from me, then you can email me. You can go in one of my other videos and email me, or I may just leave my email in this video once I kind of upload it or whatever the case may be. But I have a client in a few minutes. Let me go set up for that. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you guys can check my other videos. So go look at my email, or I'll leave my email in this video for you guys. And I will see you guys later.